Buongiorno, everyone. How's it
Oh,
going with you?
I'm
For
not
it?
bad.
What is that? It's Saturday night, man.
Still early. It's only 6 o'clock, but no.
Busy. We've got a long night ahead of work. Got the quiz to come, but obviously this video will come out on I don't know Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, sometime next week. Actually, probably Monday.
Any day next week.
Any
Either
day.
Monday,
Just
Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and if not, then probably Friday.
probably Craig David, isn't it? So here I've run through Newcastle's remaining 9 fixtures. What we think the score will be, how many points that gets to the tune, and where will we finish at the end of the season. So I'll start off, and this is probably going to be the hardest prediction to ever do, really, considering we haven't
Yeah.
played in months. We don't know how the training's going. Another win for the lads of the day in pre-season, like 2-0 out of the mighty Hull, Brucey Derby.
Didn't even
But
think of that.
Joe Linton was banging them in as well. He didn't
Oh,
score
it's
the day, did he? But I think he scored 2 or 3 in a row. He's doing his best Bergkamp impressions. He's flying. Every game, 9 points, 3 points every time. Waste of a video, this, isn't it? 9 games, 9 wins.
Yeah, kind of
Unbeaten
win,
run.
man.
Brucey, man, he's getting that. Brucey's after that contract, and he's getting it coming his way. So Sheffield United, just a week tomorrow, a week on Sunday, the return of football. Obviously, we can't return to St James's Park with them, unfortunately, but Newcastle back in action next Sunday, Sheffield United. How do you see that one going?
Like you say, it's gonna be one of the hardest to judge, really, because we've had so long off. Like, it's like the start of a new season. Like I'm forgetting. Like I'm keep referring to like last season, but it's just the season that's still going because like it's been gone for so much. Like when a season ends and a new one starts, you never really know how teams are gonna keep going, like how they're gonna come back after the summer. Like usually there's a lot of like new like signings and stuff. People come, people go. Whereas now, like it's still the same squad. But yeah, it is really really tough to judge how it's gonna be. Like are they fit? Like you've got no idea about form. Form's all out the window.
So is the
Like
fittest, I'd imagine.
Danny Rose.
Sitting in lockdown.
And like Danny Rose looks like he's put a little bit of beef on our quarantine now. Like his local fish and chip shop must still be taking a roaring trade.
He's had that on fucking Uber Eats, ready to go every day of the week. If he's put on more weight, we're knackered, like, because he was on the chubby side when he first came. He's just got a new contract now.
I know. Wait, we've had it really. Like people have been kicking off, going, didn't want him. But if we didn't have Danny Rose, like we're left with Richie or Dummett. Like there were
Nah.
any other options really. Like I think we need Danny Rose. I think just before quarantine, he finally started coming into a little bit of form as well. Like, I think he was poor when he first came, but he was out of fitness probably. He hadn't really played for Tottenham for about 6 months. Like he was out of the squad. That's why he was looking for somewhere else. And he was playing like as a wing back, where he's not really used to playing. I think since we're gone back to a flat back four, he started doing really, really well again. So, like obviously, like with more game time, his fitness was developing and being put back as a fullback. I think his performances were a hell of a lot better, as everyone else was really. Like this is just typical of the Toon. Every time we start getting like a good momentum going, like there's like an international break or an FA Cup weekend when we've been knocked out in the first round. Like,
Well, this is it, isn't it? The first time we've had an FA Cup run in 15 years, and it gets
I know.
stopped. And even if we do
Typical
progress, obviously nobody can go to Wembley. Pure typical Newcastle, isn't it?
And Sheffield United have had a really, really good season. Like, where are they in the league now? They're still sixth
I
or
think so.
seventh.
And obviously, if Man City's ban on European football goes ahead next month,
Yeah,
that'll be Sheffield United at the San Siro. Well, not actually because it's been knocked down, but
not
the Bernabeu.
bad example, Rennie.
Thought
Yeah,
it rhymed.
it's gonna be tough. I think, like if it was gonna be from when it left off, like straight after like the game after the Southampton game, I'd fancy our chances. I really would, because we played away to them earlier in the season, about November time, I think it was, and won 2-0.
John Joe Shelby,
Yeah,
classic VAR 2-hour rescue. Loved it. Love VAR. Can't wait to see it back.
But no, I thought we'd done really, really well in that game. Like Sheffield United are still the kind of team where I think like you must have fluked your way to sixth, like because you look around that team and they're not really that good. Like people have been getting a lot of praise, like Basham and I can't even remember.
Who else plays for them?
It was at number 7.
It is. I can't remember.
I can't remember their names like that. It sounds harsh, but they're still quite irrelevant. Like they've just come up from the
Henderson in goal. He's good, isn't he? Man United, England prospect. McBurney up front. Is it? The winger. The winger is decent, isn't he? I can't remember his name. It's been that long for football.
No, you know, but like I say, like, but we could still name like, and I haven't had football for a while, but we could still name like the Man City and the Liverpool team. But like Sheffield United, they're just not really that important. I feel like this season's just been like fair play to them. They've played some good football. Like they deserve to be.
Chris Weyler's done a mint job there, man.
Yeah,
They're out playing some good football.
But next season, where they're going to be, like they're probably going
Well,
to be.
it's one of them ones, isn't it? You see it a few times when a new team comes up and they're a bit of an unknown entity. People don't know how to deal with them, and then I think next season they'll probably get found out a bit more.
Yeah.
The competition will be higher once Chelsea and that continue to make signings like Werner. This year they're in the European places because the rest of the league's been shite apart from Liverpool.
Yeah. So yeah, as far as a prediction goes, it's really, really tough. But I do fancy our chances. I think we'll. I don't know. Maybe 2-1. 2-1 win. I'll say 3 points.
I'm going for 3 points as well. I'm going for a repeat of the 2-0 win at Bramall Lane.
Yeah. They're a tough team, so I'll maybe give them the benefit of scoring 1 goal, but no, I think we should have enough to get past them, whatever the result.
Lovely stuff. There's Newcastle back off to a win. just a few days later.
Only it was that easy.
You know, we're going to just make us all look like mugs here, and there's going to be like, it's going to be pulled up. Deluded mags. But Villa at home just a few days later on the Wednesday. And another win. 2-1 Newcastle for me.
See, I fancy Villa to be like a tougher team. Like even though like they're opposite ends of the league, like they're battling relegation. Like, they're 19th, aren't they? They're looking like they're already cemented to be going down. Whereas Sheffield United are fighting. I think so. Yeah, I don't know. like Sheffield are fighting for a Europa League spot, but I don't know, I just fancy Villa a bit more. I remember when we played away there, or was it at home? No, it was away. When it like.
It was an awful game.
That was an awful game. I remember me and you did a jolly box for that game. It was a horrible contest. But like we didn't have anything going. Like it was absolutely shocking. One of the worst games of football this season, and rightly would deserve to lose. It was 2-0, wasn't it?
That was awful. That game.
Yeah, so I'm more confident going against Sheffield United than I am Villa, and I don't really know why, but. I don't know if we do get the win against Sheffield and we do keep the momentum that we left off before quarantine, especially with Villa being in the bottom 3. I think momentum could see us through, but I do fancy a bit of a tough game. Like I was going to say home advantage, and I would fancy we, but I don't really think that matters anymore. Does it?
Sports direct advantage, but these I think I know what you mean. Like because I mean Newcastle on 35 points. If we win against Sheffield United, it gives me a huge breathing space. That's the all important game. The first game back. Getting towards the 40-point mark. I mean, if we lose against Sheffield United and then results go against me, it's as soon as Villa, where the pressure could start piling, and they will be fighting for it straight away. They'll want to get off to a good start to give their best chance of Premier League survival. So I think it'll be a closer game than Sheffield United. But I just think we should have more threat, really. And hopefully we'll get the win.
I'll maybe just go with another 2-1, same as Sheffield, but I don't know, I could maybe say like a 1-1 or maybe.
6 points then. 2 games, 2 wins for Project Restart. And it's Bournemouth away.
Oh, 2-2.
That's exactly what I've got now.
It always is.
It is. I always draw Bournemouth. High scoring draw. Matt Ritchie last minute. Corner flag settings. 2-2 for me all day long. That 1-1. 1 point for the Zoon.
Might put a tenner on
that. Safest 10 level season.
Odds would probably be shit though, because everyone else would probably expect that. No.
What's the results been the last few years? 2-2, 2-2, 2-2. I think draw for that. So we've got 3 games and we've got no defeats, unbeaten run.
Yeah, I know Bournemouth. Like again, just like the other 2, really. Like they can be tricky, but you can beat them. They're not class. Like like
we have got really good fixtures coming up. Like.
Yeah, Bournemouth's one of them teams that on their day that could beat the big boys, like Cities and Liverpool's, cause like a shock result, and then just some games just look terrible. So I think
they would have been Bournemouth would have been buzzing that the season got cancelled. They were having the worst ever since they came up, haven't they? Like Eddie Howe's under pressure. They're in the bottom 3. Bournemouth, they've had a shocking season.
So yeah, like that's another game that we could easily win, but I don't know. I'll go for a draw. I'd be happy with the draw, to be fair. I think it'll do. Especially if we do get the 6 points off Sheffield and Villa. I'll take a draw, like.
We'll be safe by them, man. Be safe by Bournemouth if we get them points, you'd think. I'm going for a shock result here in the next one. West Ham at home. West Ham also same as Bournemouth. I think they're in the bottom three. No, they might be just above it actually. But again, having a shocking season.
A close
West Ham more so with West Ham's some of the players West Ham have got, man. They shouldn't be in that position. Dodgy ownership, dodgy managerial appointments. We hammered them away, didn't we? What 3-0 up in what half an hour or half time? The game should have been dead. It should have been 5 or 6.
Who's that
Typical
manager?
Newcastle. Moisey, aye.
That's awful.
Typical Newcastle that we made it hard. Remember at West Ham when you thought they were going to come back from 3-0 down and Newcastle 3-2 win. This time at home, I think it would be a nice win with the crowd behind them, but with no one there, West Ham fighting, Newcastle potentially safe by this point. I'm going for a 1-0 loss.
They beat us 3-0 at home last season, didn't they?
Was that last season? I remember that was awful.
Or maybe the season before, but no, I think it was just last season. Like West Ham's another one of them teams. Like you look at the players, and they should be the better ones that we've got. Like I'd say they're a better team than Bournemouth, Villa, and Sheffield. But I like just inconsistencies. Like you just look at them and think, like, why are you this shit? Like,
I've
thought that for years about West Ham. Like I've always been quite a West Ham fan. Like I was like look at that team and think like, oh, they've got some fantastic individuals. Like even back to like when they had Tevez and Mascherano. Like now they've got now they've got what's he called on the wing? Felipe Anderson. Haller is a good striker. Fornals. They've got some class players. Diop at the back. Like they've always had a really, really good team, but for some reason, they always like seem to be like in like the bottom quarter, bottom half. Like so, yeah, like they're another team that could beat us. Yeah, now we were 3-0 up against them at their place earlier this season, and pulled 2 goals back towards the end. That was a pretty squeaky bum time at the end, wasn't it?
Oh, it was awful.
I didn't enjoy them last 10 minutes at all. But yeah, like this will possibly be the most tricky game, like you say. Like they're fighting against relegation, so. Yeah, if they nicked 3 points off where maybe it's a 1-0, like you said, possibly. I'll maybe just go for a 1-1 draw. It's another one where I would quite happily take a point.
Right, points on the board gets us to safety, like.
Yeah, definitely.
Sooner we do it, the better. Like, I can't be arsed, survival Sunday night. We shouldn't get dragged into it. We're 8 points clear, but we make life difficult, so it wouldn't surprise us. Man City away after that. That's a given that. We're always shite at the Etihad, aren't we? We obviously haven't included the FA Cup game in this, just the Premier League for the table, for the points. And we'll come on to that when we do the preview for the FA Cup game. Yeah. But City at the Etihad is never a pretty sight for Newcastle, is it?
Nope, definitely not. What was the score when you went down there?
When I went down there, was the season went down in the McLaren. Was it 5-1 or 6-1 or 6-2? We went 1-0 up mid row.
Dead good.
And we got beat 6-1 or 6-2, aye. The only good thing about the Etihad, we're the only winners at the Etihad, aren't we? Yeah.
Oh yes, we are. I didn't know what you meant there, but yeah.
Football Continent Awards 2019, 2020. Vote for it. Do it again. I can't see Newcastle getting it. Right, another 100% record. I can't see Newcastle getting a W at the Etihad. Like no chance for me. I've got it down to get a 3-1 beaten.
You would fancy a loss, to be fair. Like Man City are quite clearly the better team, a hell of a lot better players. So, yeah, you would fancy them to get the win. But I think it just depends how the season is going by that point. So, we're 4 league games in now, 4 or 5. And fifth game, yeah. And like you say, by this point, we already would have played the FA Cup quarter-final. So, I think it just depends on how things are going. Like, depending on how Man City's doing in the league, if they've dropped points, they might not.
They wouldn't even be in the league by this point, would they? Because Liverpool are potentially only 1 win away if City don't beat Arsenal.
I was going to say, by that point, Man City might not even give a shit anymore. Like, they've probably already conceded the league. I think they're quite comfortably going to get second, so they've not really got anything to play for. If they beat us in the FA Cup, then they'll probably be going all out for that just to make sure they get some silverware. Or if we win, like, they might be out looking for blood, they might be looking for revenge, or one way or the other. Like, I think whoever loses will be trying to make things right by getting the win in the league. Like, I don't know, it's going to be a tricky one, but Man City are quite clearly the better team, so you would fancy to get beat. Whatever happens. But we do give them a good game, especially at home.
Well, at home we do, right?
We're a bit of a bogey team for them at St James's, but away it is a different story. So they're beatable. You can quite easily get a point off Man City, depending on how things go on the day, but yeah, at the Etihad, you would fancy City to get the win. I'll go
score
2-0.
Watford away. That's normally a bit of a grim place now, to be fair. We never really do too well there.
Yeah.
At Vicarage Road, I can see it being a scrappy game, an awful game. We're nearing towards the end of the season.
They usually are now, aren't they? Away to Watford. They're never the prettiest of games.
Nah, I've got it down for a 1-1 draw, which I'll be happy about.
I'd take that at Vicarage Road. It is a stinky away day, like, innit?
Can't even drink in the ground.
Going down, getting a point, come back with that. Especially if we take the points, like we'll say, against the other teams by this point. How many were predicted now? We're about 7 points, 7 points up, 8 points?
3, 6, 7 points up, aye.
Yeah, so if we could get another point there off Watford, I'll be more than happy with that.
Because I got Watford with a flyer. I had the first 3 games, we picked up 7 points. And then the next 3, we've picked up 1, 2 losses and a draw. So at this point, Watford, a draw doing there be an average result. We drew 1-1 when they were at home this year.
Again, I think that's similar to the other teams like we've just mentioned, like Sheffield, Villa, Bournemouth. Like, they're all decent teams on the day. They can always come up and get 3 points off whoever it is. But on other days, like, they can just have a bit of a shocker. So, like, I think they're all quite difficult teams to predict against, especially against a team like Newcastle, because we're exactly the same as well. We can cause upsets, or we can be absolutely shite on our day as well. Like two teams like on a similar level like that, like it is really hard to predict. But yeah, if we can go down, get a 1-1 draw, I'd take that. Like, I'd be happy with that.
Spurs at home after that. So I think the first few fixtures is where we do need to get points on the board to get that 40-point mark, because
it is getting a bit tougher.
I think we've got an easy start: Sheffield, Villa, Bournemouth, West Ham, and then after that, Man City, Watford, and Spurs. Completely different story.
Tough.
Very tough games. Liverpool will finish off on the last game of the season. So Spurs at home again. I think if the crowd was there, would be better off. Mourinho famously can't win at St James's Park. That's a good point, but I think this will have a different feel about it. Spurs will be trying to finish the season strong. Mourinho will be trying to finish the season strong. I've got it down for a 2-0 defeat.
Because they started the season terribly. Like, we went down there and got a win on the 3rd game of the season. But I think they have been a bit better since Mourinho. But like Mourinho, like you say, hasn't got. Has he ever won at St James's? Never has.
No.
So I don't know. History could continue its streak. So a draw. Sorry, I think would be fantastic. Like, offer us a draw right now, I'd snap your hand off for it. But I could see Tottenham going there, getting a 1-0 lead, and just typical Mourinho, just park the bus.
Bus.
Yeah, so I'll go for a 1-0 Tottenham win.
Brighton away.
Oh, that's a fucking stinker one and all, isn't it?
It is, like. That's what I mean. The second half of these fixtures is so different than the first half. Yeah. Brighton, though, they've had good spells this season sometimes. I think that Potter that came in, done a decent job. Still in. Are they in threat of going down? I can't remember where Brighton are on the table.
I think they're just below us. Like, I think they're still in the mix, but not completely. I'll get the fucking league up, because, to be honest, I really should have done my research.
Yeah, probably. But I remember last year when we went to Brighton, I think we won 2-1. Was it Perez scored, or was it 2-0? Perez scored a great goal. Typical snapshot
1-1.
Perez.
It was 1-1.
Was it?
Yeah.
Was it?
We watched that on the Quayside of Amos, didn't we?
I thought we won. No?
I think Perez put 1-0 up, and I'm sure they equalised, and it was just another horrible, horrible game. I'm sure it was a 1-1. Brighton's in 15th.
Oh,
that's 6 points behind us, though.
Oh, lovely stuff. Keep it at that.
2 points off relegation, so yeah, they're well in the mix as well.
It could look all different by the time this game rolls around, though.
We've actually got all of them between 15th and 19th. They're the teams we're playing: Brighton, West Ham, Watford, Bournemouth, and Villa.
Good, yeah. We've got a chance to see who goes down then, as long as it's not us.
Yeah, I think anyone above Brighton should be safe. There's a Southampton on 34 points, and then we've got 35. I think from Brighton down, that all at risk, but from Southampton up, we should be fine.
So I've got it down for a 2-1 win at Brighton. 3 points. First 3 points in a few matches there, like. Quite a few matches. I had Watford with a fly. I had 2 wins in a row, then a draw. 2 losses, a draw, a loss, and then a win against Brighton.
Yeah, we should do. I think again, like with home field advantage not being there, I think going away to Brighton can be tricky. I'd be quite happy with a point, but I don't know. With current circumstances, I think we should be the better team. No home field advantage, so yeah, I think we should go down there and get a win. Yeah, 2-1, 1-0, something like that.
Mm-hmm. Liverpool on the last game of the season. Surely they'll already be crowned champions by then. Easy.
I was going to say they'll probably be playing the fucking under-18s.
Hopefully, they might get to another. They might get to another Champions League final. They might be playing their the team that fucking plays in the FA Cup. All the youngins.
You know, Klopp likes playing the youngins.
Mm-hmm.
Now, if they're not competing anymore, then he might change it up, and we've got a chance. But if he plays these strongest team, we're probably going to get pumped.
Right. I think he'll do a bit of a mix, because
possibly, yeah.
It's hard, because I would have said that if they had a carry on the season, but they've had a break now. But it all depends on what happens in the other competitions, isn't it? Champions League and whatnot. So I've got it down for a 1-1 draw, which I think will be a nice little end of the season.
They're not still in the FA Cup, are they?
Aye. They beat Everton and they beat the lower league side, I think. Are they still in the FA Cup? I don't know.
Yeah, I think they are actually. Yeah. So if they've still got the treble on, then yeah, maybe once they win the league, which should happen 2-3 games in, there is every chance that he could put some of the young'uns in. You might be trying to do that thing where I think you've got to play 5 Premier League games to get a medal, innit? So you might just be hiding some of the young'uns in to make them hit the
last 5 games of the season is just a completely different level. Yeah, you can't lads get to the Premier League medal.
I know. Yeah, get yourself a medal, son. Yeah, you fancy Liverpool to win all day, but again, circumstances depend really, depending on how Liverpool's doing in the other competitions, what kind of team Klopp might be looking to use. But yeah, I'll go for probably 3-1. That's what it was away, wasn't it? Earlier in the season when Williams went 1-0 up. Was it 3-1 or 4-1?
3-1.
3, yeah. I'll go for another 3-1 Liverpool win.
And we got robbed on the second last game of last season.
Oh, that was shit, wasn't it?
With the class wall flags, safer. And Rafa's last home game. We got bumped there. Remember the free kick that was given that shouldn't have been given. It was 2-2, and they got the winner 3-2. A load of bollocks that was.
It was a stinker game that on it, prostitute.
But that's it then. So the remaining 9 games, I've got it down to pick up with 12 points out of a total possible 27. That would see we finish on 47 points overall. 3 wins, 3 draws, and 3 losses. Lucky number 3. All the 3s, Kevin Dalglish. And that would see us finish 13th based on last season. So on last season's table, it'd be the same position that Rafa got with.
That's right.
Ironic.
We're 13th now, so we're not going up any.
You may as well just cancel the season. No one cares. 13th now, finish at 13th. Same position we actually finished last season, 13th. We had 45 points under Rafa for 13th last year. So Brucey does 2 points better.
Yeah, well, yeah, I'd take it. 12 points out of the last remaining 9 games. I'd be quite happy with that, to be honest. I think that's acceptable. Well, as long as we're going to stay clear of relegation, I think by the time we pick up another 12 points, we'll be fucking miles off. And now we're not going to get up any in the league, but in terms of points, we're going to be way off the bottom 3. So, yeah, 13th. If you said that at the start of the season, I don't think most people would have believed it.
Well, have been seeing you fucking lying.
Yeah, it actually came up on me time hop this morning. I must have tweeted about it because must have been before we got Bruce in. So we had no manager, no striker. We're getting rid of all the players. It was just bleak as out. And then when Brucey came in, that seemed even worse. Probably rather have had no manager. So, this time 12 months ago, we probably would have looked odds on to probably finish rock bottom, let alone in the bottom 3. I probably would have fancied to finish 20th. So
I think we were seeing the strawberry. We were I can't say we win the game.
No. So especially not with a striker, no manager, no striker. Oh, it's dead good that
good combination.
So
Bruce and Jolin on.
If we do finish 13th, I'll be happy with that, to be honest. It's not outstanding, but compared to what we predicted earlier in the season, it's a damn sight better.
It's better than Mike Ashley's survival, isn't it? All he's going to take is anything above 18th, so we'll take 13th instead of 17th or 18th. Hopefully, during this last 9 games, the takeover gets announced.
Well, maybe. I heard from someone the other day, I don't know if it was the Chronicle or someone, said it's due in the coming weeks.
Well, next week. It's always next week.
So
next Friday.
That's dead good, because it's not like we haven't been waiting 9 weeks on out, but coming weeks, no worries. You just had on for another few weeks.
Not long now.
Fucking bullshit, man. Next season, like I say, we're quite happy with 13th this season. Next season, hopefully, there'll be a takeover, a lot of new bodies through the door. And yeah, push on for that. Hopefully, try and get top 10.
Yeah, well, that'll do, will it?
All right, lovely.
Drop in the comments below your predictions. Pop the scores in there alongside the games. How many points will the Toon get? Where will they finish at the end of the Premier League? And yeah, make sure you vote for as well at the Football Content Awards. Only a few days left to vote. We'll try and get this video out quickly, actually, so they've got more days to vote. Link will be in the description. Cheers for watching. Subscribe to Magpie Channel TV and enjoy yourself.